Welcome back. Now, former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode has been on a meeting spree, holding consultations with different political leaders across party divides. FFK, as is popularly called, recently met with his former boss and ex-president Goodluck Jonathan. But perhaps the most notable in his latest bout of meetings, which has drawn a lot of speculations, is his visit to the governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, and the chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress Caretaker Committee, Maimala Buni. To many Nigerians, I should say, the meetings are a strong indication that Femi Fani-Kayode intends or has actually jumped ship now from the People's Democratic Party to the APC, although he has denied dumping his party. Fani-Kayode's denial, however, runs contrary to a statement by Governor Yaya Bello, who said the former minister has joined the APC. Take a listen now to Governor Yaya Bello announcing FFK's defection.
Our brother and friend, Chief Femi Fani-Kayode, has joined our party in good faith.
For the youth.
He is joining our party to come and add his own positive energy and make contribution into ensuring that APC is a party to beat.
Well, let's discuss this further now. I'm being joined on the program by Libros Oshoma, who is a political affairs analyst and also a lawyer. Libros, thank you very much for joining us on the program. First off, if Fani-Kayode has decided to defect, it would not be the very first time he would be doing it. But at this moment, you listened to the governor of Kogi State, and then we also heard from Fani-Kayode, who said, well, that he has actually not defected, that consultations are still going on. What do you make of the drama?
Yeah, you know, everything surrounding Fani-Kayode is always very dramatic. And that's why this one would not be different. If you remember also, before he joined the PDP, he was rumored to have, be hobnobbing with the PDP and was about leaving APC. And he did say who was left in the PDP that he would want to join PDP. So I would not be surprised if tomorrow Fani-Kayode comes out to say he wants to move Nigeria forward, and so he has decided to join the APC. This is not the first time.
But what do you think could have happened here? The Kogi governor coming out openly, because we actually know that Fani-Kayode met with the Kogi State governor. Would the Kogi State governor have come out to make that kind of pronouncement if some kind of commitment had not been extracted from Fani-Kayode? And then you look at Fani-Kayode's response. It's basically neither here nor there, just in between, neither confirming nor clearly, so to speak, denying.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world. The Kogi State governor might just be flying a kite. And in the same vein, he might just be speaking truth to type based on the agreement that he reached with Fani-Kayode. For me, Nigerian politicians are like what you would call footballers in European league. Today, they are in one club and they can kiss the badge, and you think they would die for that club. The very next day, they're in another club. So it's the same thing. So maybe, like we see, the window is open now because of politics of 2023, even though they are yet to fulfill the promises of 2015 and 2019.
But in actual, let's face it, Libros, let's face it. What electoral value would the APC be seeing in Fani-Kayode that it wants him to, to come back to the party? I mean, we're talking about a man who, I don't think there's been any man who has been more critical of the APC than Fani-Kayode anyway.
The same thing. I will also liken it to football match. So you ask yourself, what value is this player going to add to this team? Why are they so desperate? Mind you, Fani-Kayode has nuisance value. And that nuisance value, because the politics here is not about electoral value. Nobody is discussing about what the politicians will bring to the table. What they just want is, how do this man is acerbic, he's well-spoken, he's very good on Twitter. So if we get him to our side, maybe some of these harsh criticisms that we are getting, might reduce. It's like going to a Wuren or Mokri to join APC. I'm even ashamed of the APC for even contemplating, hobnobbing or wanting somebody like FFK to join their fold. And these are people who have criticized you. You have also criticized. You have said they wasted 16 years. Because in as far as I'm concerned, Fani-Kayode, apart from the short spell he had in APC, had been in PDP all his life. And so now you're going to woo those same people that you said destroyed the country back to the APC. It's unfortunate and very lacking.
And don't you think the APC leadership, the caretaker committee, might be courting some kind of trouble for itself? Because obviously, you look at the kind of reaction we saw when the news broke out. Quite a number of APC members were totally against the idea of Fani-Kayode returning to the party. And we saw, for instance, the statement put out by the Director General of the Governors Forum. That's the Progressive Governors Forum now, even though he said he was speaking for himself and not for the Progressive Governors Forum. Essentially saying, that the APC was not being wise at all, trying to get Fani-Kayode back to its fold. That the leadership, and obviously from what he said, it's clear that it would appear there was no proper consultation at all.
DEJI, we all know that politics in Nigeria, if the owners of the political party want anybody, they go for that person, whether the person has electoral values or not, depending on the cheap political point they want to score. So if Fani-Kayode is pleasing to people who believe they own the party now and they deem it fit to accept him, some persons can complain. The majority can have their say, but the owners of the party will always have their way. And we saw it happen in Edo when, against all odds, despite what had been said, Ize Yamu decamped from the PDP into the APC. But we saw how he also failed in that one. Look at the last election. The 2015 election, Fani-Kayode played a very critical role for Goodluck Jonathan. And at the end of the day, how did it end? And the same 2019, Fani-Kayode played a very critical role for the PDP. And yet they were defeated. So one would ask, what, are the, positives that anybody will want to take from Fani-Kayode that would make a ruling party want him to join them? It is because the only answer to this is because here we don't discuss electoral value. We discuss electoral nuisance. And so the more nuisance you have, the more you will be appealable to, a party that will want your nuisance value. And that's why I'm even ashamed that Yaya Bello will boldly, talk about a Fani-Kayode joining APC as if you're talking about a sense.
Yes, as if the party had won a trophy, something like that.
Exactly. You ask yourself, even in his ward, if Fani-Kayode has ever won election for his party in his ward, so what would he be bringing to the table? But I know he's been consulting even before night. You remember the last that he had a very short fuse.
Yeah.
That was a conversation he had with the journalist.
It was all part of the consultation.
Yes, he's been consulting widely, and some people have even asked, that same question that if you rated him, who is bankrolling his consultation? So maybe this is the essence of the consultation. And then it is so sad and laughable that it is people like Fani-Kayode and Yaya Bello that would want to move Nigerian forward. That they talk about, meeting and discussing how to move Nigerian forward. These are people that have destroyed, collectively destroyed Nigeria, and now telling you that they want to move Nigeria. I don't blame them. I blame, the rest of us who just sit down and criticize and do nothing.
All right, Liberal Soshoma, thank you very much for joining us on the program and for sharing your thoughts with us on this, quite dramatic issue, I must say. Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
We'll take a short break now and we'll be right back. Opinions are free. Facts are sacred. The truth is universal. Now, let me ask you, Colonel, how in practical terms can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
Governments must find the political will.
On DEJI 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible, a great country is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it and use it to take action. DEJI 360, dissecting the issues.